I'm Matt Bishar with NAREIT here in New York City for REITWeek 2016, NAREIT's Investor Forum. Joining me for this CEO Spotlight is Ramin Kamfar, founder and CEO of Bluerock Real Estate. Ramin, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Matt.
Now, your company's been particularly active in Florida lately. How do you view the underlying fundamentals in that market?
We think Florida is great. I mean, our strategy is to focus on markets with very high employment growth, especially markets with employment growth that's intellectual capital driven. And a lot of Florida markets fall into that category, and they've had actually a relatively limited supply addition since the Great Recession. So we're finding them very attractive.
And how about the fundamentals in your other core market?
Well, in general, because we're going after growth markets, we're finding very strong fundamentals in those markets. And if the market's fundamentals aren't strong, then what we'll do is we'll cycle out of those markets. That's our strategy. There's an 80% correlation between employment growth and apartment demand. So, the fundamentals that we're seeing, we're going to get 5% plus rent growth in almost all our markets this year.
And how would you describe construction financing conditions, and what impact are they having on the multifamily space?
Construction financing has become more difficult over the last 6 months as banks have pulled in, partially because of supply concerns, partially because of Dodd-Frank and Basel III rules and so on and so forth. And we think that's great, because what's happened is that it's really divided the market, bifurcated it into the haves and the have-nots. The strong sponsors, and we're in that category, are continuing to be able to access financing, and the ones that are weaker, merchant builders, et cetera, don't have the net worth or the experience or the great access to deals, are not getting that financing. So it's shutting down a big part of the supply pipeline. So what we're doing is we're setting ourselves up for a tremendous supply-demand imbalance in our markets in 2018. So you're going to see great rent growth in those markets.
And lastly, is there a particular property in Bluerock's portfolio that's significant for either its historical significance, its role in the community, or its design?
So what we try to do is try to create live, work, play communities with each of our properties. So we take each property and we tailor it, either by building it from scratch or buying existing asset and modifying it to tailor it to fit and be a component of the community by adding resort-style swimming pools and dog parks, and if we're in Nashville, it's karaoke and songwriters lounges and so on and so forth. So each of them is actually connected to the community, and that's how they're special.
Ramin, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Matt.
For more from REITweek 2016, be sure to visit REIT.com.